Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Factorio. Today, we're going to take a big step. We need to go get oil. So let's go get oil. So last time, we expanded our mall, right? So now we have most of the oil stuff that we're going to need, right? We need pump jacks to extract the oil. We need oil refineries to refine the oil. So we're going to grab a couple stacks of those. We need chemical plants in order to transform the refined oil into stuff. And we're going to go ahead and drop this coal off somewhere because I don't need the coal at the moment. So let's go ahead and give it to the grenades. Alright, cool. Cool. Also, are the wall? Oh, that's why that's slow. We're not getting enough bricks in here. Why aren't we getting enough bricks? Why aren't we getting enough bricks? I wanted to start oil. Our military science is being held back by... No, we're just not making bricks fast enough, I guess. Guess we need more... stone? Well, for now, I guess we can resolve the brick issue by basically cutting off our stone. Because right now, our stone is being completely consumed by the landfill, which should be almost done. And then once that's done, then everything will it'll be fine. I'll leave it alone. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Also, let's place some lights. I've been forgetting to place lights again, because that's just what I do. I keep forgetting to place lights. So we're going to plop some lights here, let's plop some lights here, let's plop some lights here, and here seems good. Make sure everything has at least some light around it. That way we can see what's going on. There seems good. Here seems good. Very, very good. Alright, cool. So we actually have an oil patch right here. Right? Now this doesn't give us a lot of room to refine it and all that fun stuff, so we could always pipe it a bit further out of the base, like out here or something like that. That's fine. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, right? So let's go ahead and throw some of our oil stuff down here. So we're going to get our pump jacks down there, our refineries down there, our chemical plants down there, and we're going to need a lot of pipes and underground pipes. So let's actually go back to our mall real quick before we get too far away. And let's grab plenty of underground pipes. Trust me, we're going to need a lot. And then let's grab plenty of those too. Cool. Alright, we're going to try to keep this pretty simple. Oil can be a complex thing. It tends to scare a lot of people. But we're going to just try to keep it simple, straightforward, awesome. So the pump jacks, they pull out the crude oil is what it's called, right? And basically what you got to do is it operates kind of like water in that the pump jacks push the oil out of the ground and then into pipes. And you want to get it all connected together into one pipe system so that way you have access to everything. Now you can make this as organized, as messed up as you want. I prefer to just kind of go somewhat messed up. I'm just going to do a big line there. And then I'm just going to connect things together, right? So I'm going to go ahead and connect that. And then using undergrounds, I'm going to connect that to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and connect that over to here. I'm going to run another pipe just right up the middle. And then I'm going to use underground to connect some more. So connect that to that. Connect that to that. Connect. I'll just use regular pipes for that. And then again, I'm going to move this that way. And then run pipes right up the middle again. Whoops. Right up the middle. And then we're going to connect that to that. We're going to connect these guys together. And then we're just going to connect all that together. So now all of the pump jacks are all connected to one big pipe system. Now we need to go ahead and get them powered on. So we're going to go ahead and just connect power poles. And again, I'm going to do it sloppy because I don't really care. We don't really look at the pump jacks all that often. So we're just going to get them all connected. And that's all good. And then we just need to get it all connected to power, right? So let's go ahead and get it connected to power. And there we go. So now we're pumping oil, and you can see there is crude oil in our pipes now. And you can see the pipes are starting to fill up with the oil coming from the pump jacks. We have additional oil way out here too, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. So now what we want to do is we want to take the oil and we need to refine it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself tons of space. I'm actually going to go just above our science line there just to make sure I have as much space as absolutely necessary. So I'm just going to take the crude oil and I'm just going to run it way out here. And cross over like that. Excellent. And just a little bit farther, because again, in Factorio, you have all the space in the world, so use it. Okay, cool. So now what do we want to do? So up next, now that we have our pump jacks, now we want to go ahead and refine it, right? So we've got our refineries. I'm going to go ahead and just lay down 10 of them for now. Now you can see on the refinery, there's blue arrows for in and there's blue arrows for out. So 2 ins, 3 outs. At first, when you first unlock oil, you only have access to the basic oil processing recipe. Later on, when we open the tech tree here, later on we're going to research advanced oil processing, and we'll deal with that once we get there. And hold on, I need to take a phone call. Alrighty guys, sorry about that. That was my wife on the phone. She's almost back home too, so when she's back I'm probably gonna have to step away again for a few minutes, and that's okay. No worries. For you guys on YouTube, I'm just gonna edit out the breaks anyway, so it's all good. Anyway, let's get back to it. So yeah, this is the refinery. Right now we only have access to basic oil processing. And so when we set that recipe, you can see all that it needs is crude oil. It doesn't need anything else. And you can also see that all of the arrows have now changed to just 1 arrow in and 1 arrow out. Eventually, when we get to advanced oil processing, we'll figure that out when we get there. But eventually when we get to advanced oil processing, we're going to end up with this advanced oil processing refinery recipe, and we'll upgrade our basic oil processing to advanced, and then we'll get 3 different products instead of just 1. But for now with the basics, we're good. So what this is going to do is it's going to take our crude oil and it's going to refine it into petroleum gas. And then we use petroleum gas to create things like plastic. So let's go ahead and build several of these, right? So we're going to do like 10 side by side. So and I like to put them like a space apart just in case for things like power poles and stuff like that. So 5. Oh, you know what? Let's build a bit smaller. Let's just do 5 for now. We'll build a bit smaller, and if we need to expand it later, we can. But for now, let's just build small. All good. And then we can expand later. I always tend to overbuild oil anyway, so it's fine. It'd be better to start small and expand as we need to expand. That way it will also reduce complexity, and if we need to tear down and rebuild 20 times, like I said in the last episode, totally fine. Totally fine. So what we're going to do is I like to put pipes on the in and on the out, just so that way it makes it easy to connect underground pipes to it too. So pipe in, pipe out. And then I want to do underground pipes connecting them all so that way I can run between, right? That's the idea. And then just like with assemblers, you can shift right click, shift left click to set the recipe. And then what we're going to do is we're going to underground pipe connect everything like that, right? So that way we only need to input our oil into one of these. And that might even be better if I just do a straight shot on. See, again, we're already tearing down, and that's okay. That's okay. In Factorio, you can tear down as much as need be. All good. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to stick it right here. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. Pipe, 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 pipe. Pipe, basic oil processing. Copy, paste. Pipe, 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 underground connections, and then underground connection. There, see? So now we've got our crude oil connected. Let's go ahead and connect this to power. So I'm going to put power poles in between, right? So that's all connected. Then we're going to grab a big power pole here, and we're just going to run it back down. Easy peasy, easy peasy, easy peasy. And get all of this connected to power and get it up and running. All right. So now we've got the crude oil, being pumped into our refineries. You can see our refineries are now on fire. Whoa, they're on fire! It's refining the oil. Let's go ahead and throw some lights in here so we can see. Perfect. So now we have petroleum, and what you're going to notice is once this all fills up, these are going to shut off. So oil has a backup mechanic, right? So when all the pipes are full, then this is going to back up until it reaches its capacity, and then once it all backs up, it cuts off. And then once this gets used, then these will just kick back in. So that way we're not just burning oil for the sake of burning oil, right? We're all backed up. Kind of like what happens with belts, right? If we look at our belts, some of our resources on our belts are backed up, right? Like iron, right? It's all backed up. And when it keeps backing up, eventually what happens is these furnaces, they stop working. So you can see some of these furnaces are working because this belt's not fully backed up, but some of these furnaces aren't working. It's all backed up, right? Same kind of deal with oil, right? So right now it's all backed up, it's not working. So let's go ahead and get all of these connected together. Getting these connected creates some more pipeline. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to route this up. Again, I like to leave myself plenty of space. And then we're going to take our chemical plants and we're going to make stuff out of our chemical plants. So we're going to place a chemical plant down. And what can our chemical plants do? You can see our chemical plants can actually do a lot. Our chemical plants can make flamethrower ammunition, which we don't need, right? Because we don't have biters, so I'm not going to worry about that. Our chemical plants can make sulfuric acid, which we are going to need. Chemical plants can make solid fuel out of petroleum. It can also make solid fuel later on from some of the other resources too. It can make plastic, which we definitely need, and we need that ASAP, right? We've already noticed as we were expanding our mall, we need advanced circuits. Advanced circuits need plastic. So plastic is going to be one of the first things we're going to want to do. Chemical plants can also do sulfur. They can do batteries, and they can do explosives. So we take our refined crude oil, petroleum, and then we use that petroleum, combine it with other ingredients into our chemical plant in order to essentially, treat chemical plants like assemblers. And we assemble plastic bars, right? And so let's go ahead and start with that. So for plastic bars, that takes coal and petroleum, right? So we're going to go and select plastic bar. And then let's say we want to do like 3 of those. Okay, cool. So copy paste. And plastic bars, you notice the arrows still go in, but the arrows that were there on the chemical plant before, they're gone now. Plastic bars are a solid. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to output plastic onto a belt, right? Just like you would out of an assembler. And that's how that's going to work. And then we'll just balance it. Like that, see? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then we're going to get that connected. And then just like before, I like to do ends with pipes, and then I can connect with undergrounds, and then I do power poles in between. Let's throw some lights there, and then we're going to connect with big power poles. Let's see, where do I want to connect that? Here seems good. And we're going to connect that with big power poles. And now we've got the plastic set up, at least for the most part. We still need to bring in coal, right, in order to create the plastic. So that means we need to go back to our bus or some other source of coal, right, and then route that in. We don't have any coal sources nearby, so we're going to have to draw from our bus. Bring some coal up, and then we'll input from here, output from here. We can input from here, or we can route coal up this way and use long-headed inserters. But it's all good. I like to input this way, like that. And then we'll run the belt this way that has the coal on it. And we can use undergrounds to get over that pipe. Easy peasy. So now we're all set up. And I will be right back. Just going to pause it. Alrighty guys, I am back. Let's keep rolling. Cool. So we've got some plastic set up, right? And again, we're all backed up. Once the plastic kicks in though, then that's going to use our petroleum. This will kick back in. If our plastic backs up, then these will back up, and then these will back up. So that way, you know, that's how oil works. It works just like belts, at least in that way. So let's go ahead and route our plastic down. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, how do I want to do that? I would like to add plastic to the bus. Where's the easiest way to stick it onto the bus? I think what maybe I'll do is I will route it in between here somewhere. Maybe I'll route it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to route through here or route around. We're going to have to snake it in. And that's fine. We'll snake it in. Maybe I'll route it behind like I'm doing with the science and then route it down and onto the bus that way. And then I can use a splitter to go back up the bus in order to feed it into the mall. Yeah, maybe that'll work. So instead of putting the plastic that way, we can put the plastic the other way. Do the plastic that way. And then again, we can go ahead and balance it so that way it takes up the whole belt. I'm just going to run it all the way over, and then I'm going to stick it like here. I'm going to leave me some extra room there because I know we've got a couple more sciences to go to. So just leaving me some room. Leaving me some room. And then I think I'm going to run it down this way. That way it doesn't really interfere with the mall. And then I can put it underneath the coal. That'll work. And then I can stick a splitter here, and I can go half backwards. So that way I can route it back to the mall. And then I can do the other half forwards. Like that. In order to keep things moving. Cool. So we've got plastic back onto the bus. And then if I need to route the plastic up to the mall, I can do that through snaking it through those gaps there. So now we need to get coal up to our oil refining, right? So we can take coal from here, or I can take coal from here. And I think I'm going to take coal from here because that's just a little bit easier. So we're just going to route that up. Run on the belt, just helps you run a little bit faster. And then again, I'm going to leave a gap for future science. And then I want the coal to come in this way, right? So I'm just going to throw a ghost there so that way I know where to turn. And there we go. Once the coal arrives, we'll have plastic. It's going to be awesome. And if we need to expand plastic, we just build more to the left. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, easy peasy. So let's go ahead and take a look at this so you can kind of see how it operates, right? So coal comes Combine that with the petroleum, plastic comes out. And now that the petroleum's starting to get used, our refineries kick back in. And you can see that doesn't give us a full belt of plastic, so like I said, we can always expand it further, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's throw down a few more chemical plants. So let's do like 6 more, something like that. And then we'll just keep throwing the pipes on there, like so. Keep using undergrounds to connect it all. And then throw on our blue inserters to keep doing insertery things. Drag that along for the ride. Drag that along for the ride. And then balance. And there we go. Oh, we actually need to output. Gotta actually output. And we need to actually set the recipe. There we go. Something else we can do is instead of balancing it like this, notice how some of our plastic isn't able to set immediately. So about halfway into this line, we can stick a splitter there, and then just do that. And that'll help balance a little bit more. And we can even prioritize the output here from that side in order to basically move everything from here to the top side of the belt, and then these guys. So now it's on the bottom side of the belt, and then these guys can put on the top side of the belt. And now what we're noticing is there's not enough petroleum in the pipes. The pipes are empty. So the plastic's not getting enough petroleum anymore. See? It's waiting. So what does that mean? We need more refineries. There's still tons of crude oil, so not to worry. So let's go ahead and add more refineries. So let's add like 5 more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is how the oil balancing act begins. You just kind of monitor, see how things go, and then you adjust. As things back up or run out, you fix it. Keep throwing lights in the mix. We're also going to want to put in radars, that way we can see what's up. I like to stick radars around here-ish. That way it doesn't interfere with anything. And then again, pipe, 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 underground, 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 under, under. And then we need to get this all connected too. So pipe, 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 under, 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 under. So more refining should help clear things up when it comes to plastic. At least a little bit better. Still looks like here at the end though, we are waiting. Oh, yeah, we are still waiting a little bit. But it is running a bit better. So let's see, how is our crude doing? Our crude oil is still doing okay. It's still not all the way running out, so we can add even more if we want to. So let's go ahead and add more. Again, just get everything nice and connected. See how easy it is to expand when we build it this way? It works pretty nicely, I think. There we go. Let's get all this connected to power. And what you may have noticed is this doesn't actually need power, I don't think. Like if I disconnect it, oh no, it does need power. Okay. Cool. I wasn't 100% sure if it needed it or not. I thought I saw it start up without it. So now we have even more petroleum. And again, our plastic is eating all the petroleum it can. But now it's working a lot better. We're hesitating a lot less. Which is awesome. We are still hesitating though. Which I'm actually kind of surprised about. I didn't realize plastic was so oil heavy. We're even starting to run out of crude oil. Wow. That plastic is demanding. Yep. They're working. They're all working. Maybe we do need to route some more oil in. Maybe we need to go out here and route some of that in. So let's go ahead and do that. Because yeah, in Factorio, if you're consuming more and you're not producing enough, then that means you need to build bigger. I'm just queuing up all the other military researches. We're not going to really leverage them, but I'm just queuing them all up. So let's go get some more pipes, because we're going to need lots of undergrounds. That's a pretty good distance away. Let's also drop off any extra rocks that we have. I'm going to also put an inserter here with a chest and just put my rocks in there. And then coal. Coal can go here. What else do I have? Wood. Wood can go over here. Let's grab some more refineries just in case. Let's grab some more chemical plants just in case. Let's grab a few more lumberjacks too just in case. And then like I said, we're going to need a bunch of underground pipes. And I'm going to grab a stack of pumps too. I'm probably not going to use that many pumps, but it is a long distance, so it'll be nice to make sure that we have throughput. So basically what a pump is going to do, right? So if I hover over the pump, it's going, basically what it does is it takes the fluids on one side of the pump and just pushes it as much as it can to the other side at a rate of 12,000 units per second. So it's a very powerful device compared to our offshore pump, right, which is only 1,200 units per second. This is 12,000 units per second. So it pumps a lot. And you can even stack them if you need to pump even more. It's kind of crazy. But you just kind of need one occasionally just to keep fluids moving, because the way that fluids work is they kind of slosh back and forth in the pipes, right? Kind of like fluids in the real world, they slosh back and forth. So in this case, right, we don't have any pump. And so what happens is every pipe that we look at, it's all going to have roughly the same level. The pipe's just going to kind of fill up over time, right? If we're not consuming all of it. And if we are consuming all of it, it's just going to all kind of lower at the same time. A pump basically throws everything from this side to the other side. So it's going to try to keep this side empty. So if I were to throw a pump here, for example, so let's go ahead and just throw one here just to have it. It's not going to help us out a lot, but let's just go ahead and have one just so I can kind of show you what I mean. So let's say we decide to throw a pump here, right? It needs power, so we're going to go and power it. I'm going to throw a pipe here at the end, and then underground, right? Keep things moving. So what's going to happen is the pump is going to keep this side as empty as it can. And it's going to try to push all the oil it can out to this side. And you can even see it working. So that's essentially how it works. Now, because these are constantly pumping oil out, right, it's never going to be able to fully empty this side. It's just going to keep it moving. So this side should always be more empty than this side once everything is going. And you can see it kind of sloshing around as the pump pushes the fluid through. You can also see our plastic starting to back up, so our oil is probably going to start backing up too. That's okay. That is a-okay. Yep, we're backing up. So now our petroleum is going to start backing up, as you can see, and then eventually that's going to back up, and then our oil will back up, and everything will stop. So maybe we don't need to expand yet. So let's see, what else do we need to do? So if we look at our next science, right, because our next science is kind of the next goal, right, in order to continue our research. So chemical science needs sulfur, it needs advanced circuits, and it needs engines. So we can already do engines. Advanced circuits need plastic, so that's why we have the plastics. Now we can do advanced circuits, which is awesome. But notice advanced circuits need electronic circuits, the green ones. So you're going to notice our green circuits are going to get eaten really fast, right? So we're going to need to expand that production. And then engines we can already do. And then sulfur. We're going to need a little bit of sulfur. So to do sulfur, we can either do sulfur here, or we can do sulfur in line with our actual science production. Let me go and just hover over all these military things we don't really need. So if we go over sulfur, we need water and petroleum gas. So what we could do is we can either process sulfur here. We have water right here, which makes it really easy to do. Or we can take our petroleum gas and we can route it back down towards our bus. And then wherever we decide to build blue science, right, like here, we can just process sulfur right then and there. But I think just to keep things easy, I'm going to go ahead and process it up here and then just route sulfur down. So again, just going to give myself plenty of space. And let's just do like 2, maybe 3 of sulfur. We're not going to need a lot of sulfur. So sulfur, as you see, requires output using inserters again, but now it takes 2 fluids as input. So this is a good opportunity to show you guys a way to organize this, right? So we need the petroleum, but we also need water. So for the petroleum, I'm going to go ahead and go this way, and then output that way and go up. Now, for the petroleum, I'm going to go ahead and just stay with the 1 pipe, but then for the water, I'm going to do 2 pipes. So that way we can still do our underground thing, and we'll just have them crisscross, see? And then for the water, we can do this. And they can crisscross and everything will be just fine. You can't mix fluids in pipes, so you do need to make sure that they stay separated. If you fail to separate them, you're going to have a problem. So make sure you keep them separated. So there's our petroleum. Now let's go get some water. Water, just like with our steam engines, right, requires offshore pump. And then I want the offshore pump to be there. Perfect. And then we'll just take underground pipes and we'll go this way. There we go. Now we've got water. So now all we need is power and output. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and output this way. We'll balance it. And then we just need to get power going and we'll have sulfur. So again, I'm going to go ahead and stick power in the middle and then use big power poles to connect everything. Keep things nice and easy. And boom, now we have sulfur. Awesome, awesome. And then we can go ahead and route that down to our bus. So I'm just going to follow along our plastic route here. You can go ahead and switch that up. And then I guess sulfur we can stick on a new section of the bus. That's fine. We just keep expanding the bus. Why not? So let's make sure we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like that. And that's where our sulfur is going to go. Boom. There is our sulfur. And here it comes. So now we have sulfur. So what else can we do with oil? So we can do sulfuric acid, right? And make batteries. Batteries are going to be nice because then you can use batteries to do things like, let's see, like personal batteries, which will store solar panel energy. And then you can do things like energy shields in order to make you stronger defensively against biters if you have biters enabled. Basically, personal batteries are going to come in handy. We're going to unlock additional stuff down the road. But basically, batteries, you're going to want batteries. You're also going to need batteries in like accumulators, for example. So that way we can start converting to solar energy, right? We're already doing solar panels, right, down here. We're already doing solar panels down here. We're going to want to do accumulators too. And accumulators need iron and batteries. So if we want to convert to solar someday, which we do, because it's, you know, even though it's going to require a lot of space, it's really easy to plop down, especially once we get bots. And then it'll be really quick and easy to expand our power grid without needing to rely on steam for everything. So let's do batteries next, right? So let's go back up here to our chem plant setup. Look at that, it's amazing. And then again, we're going to want chemical plants to do this. So batteries, I'm going to go ahead, we're going to want a lot of batteries, just FYI. So I'm going to do a similar amount to like plastic. So we're going to do like 5, 6, 7, 8-ish, right? So batteries want sulfuric acid, iron, and copper plate. So we'll need to pull iron and copper plate off the bus, bring it up. We also need sulfuric acid. So how are we going to do sulfuric acid? Well, sulfuric acid requires sulfur, iron plates, and water, right? So we're going to go ahead and pull the batteries up. And then we're going to split our sulfur off. I'm just going to route it this way. And then that way, we can have a couple chem plants. I'm going to say like 3 do sulfuric acid. And then we're going to, and then that requires water as input. So I'm going to stick water here, here, and here. And then we can even connect it to this water source, right? So we can go water there. And then route the water up like that. I think I'm going to want to actually go a couple more out like that. Because I want to leave space for an inserter, right? So let's leave space for an inserter. There we go. So now we have our inserter going in. And then what I think I'm going to actually want to do is I'm going to want to half and half it, right? Because we also want iron. So I'm going to go ahead and do something like this, right? And then we'll want to route the iron some other way. Let me think about this for a second. How do I want to do this? Because I don't necessarily want to route the iron up and over. I know what I could do. I know what I can do. I can use an underground here to do something like... I don't even need an underground. I can just do something like that. I can do that. There we go. And then that way I can route the iron this way. Alright, let's go get some iron. So I'm just going to drag that over the top. So that way I know where to go there. I want the iron to come up there. Oh wait, does that need copper too? No, it does not. It's the batteries that need copper. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to route both iron and copper. Yeah. I'm going to route both iron and copper. Pull them both off the bus. We'll half and half it that way. Ooh, that's a squeeze. But it'll work. Okay. So iron, iron, iron. And then we're going to do that. And then for the copper, we're going to do that. Copper, copper. And there we go. Iron and copper coming up. So let's get this routed in. And now in this case, you can see the sulfuric acid has arrows pointing out. So sulfuric acid is something that needs to be piped. So we'll get that connected and outputted that way. Something like that, right? Go ahead and get this powered on. Get a couple of lights so we can see at night. We'll get a light here, we'll get a light here. And then once the iron comes up, we're going to start getting sulfuric acid. Oh, you know what? I need to do a filter here. I'm going to need to do like 2. I'm going to want that, and then I'm going to want to filter out so it's just the... Hold on, let's cut that off. So it's just the iron plate coming out that way. Like that. There we go. Because I don't want the copper getting in there, getting it all mixed up. Okay, see? Now we have sulfuric acid. Awesome. And then what we'll do is we'll take the sulfuric acid and we'll make batteries with it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries. Batteries take sulfuric acid, so we're going to go like this. When there's 2 arrows, it just means that either one you can use to input or output. You don't have to use both. We're just going to follow the same basic structure that we've always been doing, right? We just got to route the fluids in. And then I can take an underground there. And there we go. So now our batteries have the sulfuric acid they need. What else do they need? They need the iron and copper. So let's go ahead and get our inserter set up. Get our power online. And then batteries, you can see there's no arrows there, so batteries are an insert or output. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. We're about halfway into the batteries. I'm going to do a prioritized output like that to help balance them out. Like what I did with the plastic there. And then that plastic probably doesn't need that balancer at all, but whatever, it's all good. And now let's go ahead and route the batteries out. And let's see here. Oh, these are stopped. They're blocked. Okay, cool. No worries. They'll unblock here in a second. There we go. And then let's go ahead and run our batteries back to the bus. And we're almost out of red belts. We're probably going to run out before we get it all the way back to the bus. But it's all good. Maybe we can make it back to the mall before we run out. Nope, doesn't look like it. Or at least not quite. We almost made it. Oh, we basically made it. Cool. So let's grab a whole bunch of more stuff from our mall here. $1,500 of those is nice. Let's get some more undergrounds. Another 50 of those will be good. And then let's keep routing this down. And now we will soon have batteries on the bus. Glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious. There we go. There's batteries on the bus. See, here they come. Batteries onto the bus. And then we're probably going to want to use a splitter, same thing like we did with the plastics, right? In order to get half onto the bus and then half in reverse to go back to the mall. And we can do the same thing with plastic here too. Have like a little like mini reverse bus going back to the mall. So it's a little snaky, it's a little spaghetti-like, but it's our spaghetti, and it's amazing. So now we have batteries and plastic heading back to the mall. And what that allows us to do is that allows us to expand our mall out. So now we can go ahead and get accumulators, right? That's one of the biggest things that I want to start getting like ASAP. So, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build them. Let's see, accumulators, they need iron and batteries. Let's see, we have iron. We have iron here. We have iron over here, but I kind of want to put the accumulators by the solar panels. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Maybe what I'll do is I'll put that there. Now I'm going to route the batteries up somewhere. But I would like to do accumulators here. I'm going to want like 4 of them just to start playing catch up. Let's see, let's do accumulators. Research is done. Let's see if there's any more military stuff. Let's go ahead and get those 2. We're going to want batteries coming from over here. And we're going to want to go ahead and output onto a belt. And then we can take from that and stick it into a box. Something like that. There we go. But now I need to get the batteries up there somehow. And I think the easiest way to do it would be to just pull them up from over here, because it's kind of clustery in there. Let's go ahead and bring the batteries up some more. I'm going to go ahead and pull them. Go ahead and output priority to the left. Let's figure out how to route this through. So we're going to go that way. And then we're going to go, I'm just going to route it up and around like that. It's a little roundabout-ish, but it's fine. If it works, it works. And I'll take it. So now that should be accumulators. That should be accumulators. Let's just make sure it works. And then life will be good. Excellent. That is indeed accumulators. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right, what else do we need? So, we need to start doing advanced circuits. So like I said, I know we're going to need a lot of green circuits in order to do advanced circuits. I just know it. I just know it. That's all I can really say. I just know we're going to need it. I know we're going to need them. So we're going to build another belt or 2 of green circuits and throw them onto the bus before we start getting our advanced circuits. So, for green circuits, we're going to just follow the same recipe as before. Holy cow, we have a lot of sulfur just chilling in our inventory. Should have gotten rid of the sulfur before. But it's all good. I'll be able to get rid of the sulfur soonish. I can at least get rid of the batteries, though, and clean up my inventory otherwise. Drop off the wood. Drop off the gears. I can't drop off the plastic yet either. Drop off the stone. Drop off the iron. Drop off the copper. Let's go ahead and get some more of these medium power poles because we're going to need them. I don't need this underground, this yellow underground belt. We're in that awkward phase now where we start accidentally upgrading stuff from yellows to reds. But it's all good. Okay. Now let's take a look at our oil setup, right? Make sure we're doing okay. So it looks like our batteries are constantly working, so we're doing okay, and that's because plastic's not eating all of our stuff at the moment. We are still going to have to eventually expand our oil, because you can see our oil is still running dry. We just don't have enough of it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the pump jacks in my inventory for now. And all the pipes and stuff. I'll go ahead and keep them in my inventory for now. Okay. So let's go ahead and start more green circuit production, because we are going to need it. So again, we're going to do a lot of copper cables. Like a lot. We might need even more than this, honestly. But we'll expand it as needed. For now, I'll just stick with this. And then that's going to feed into our green circuits. So we want that and that. And then we want that and that. Let me make sure that this actually like works. Okay, good. That's exactly what I want. Okay, perfect. So that and that, that and that. Perfect. We're going to do green circuits. And then this is going to be copper. And this is why eventually we're going to start running out of copper and we're going to need to get more. Because we're going to need a ton of green circuit production. This is probably not enough even when I flip it onto the other side. It's probably not going to be enough. But it's okay. I guess I will expand it later, and when we start running out of copper, we'll go get more copper. And let's figure out the power situation. Something like that. Oh no, that doesn't quite reach. Something like that, perhaps. But that doesn't quite reach either. There we go. There we go. It's a bit of a mess, but it'll get the job done. So all good. Now rinse and repeat on the other side. We're going to need more blue inserters. Let's go back up to the mall and get some. Thank goodness for the mall. See, the mall comes in handy all the time. All the time. Let's go ahead and grab another stack of these too, because why not? Good, everything's powered on there. So once again, we're going to and then you're going to output. And then you're going to input. And then here, we just need to get the back area connected because this pole's covering these ones too. So we just need to connect these, easy peasy. There we go. And then copper this way. And let's see what that does. See, we are starting to run low on copper actually, because we're only smelting 2 columns of it. We're gonna need to go get some more soon. There's some over here, and there's some over here too. Well, we got plenty of copper nearby, so that's good. But for now, let's use what we can, and we'll worry about that probably next episode. Maybe we'll even train it in. That would be sweet. Okay. So there's that. Now let's get the iron in. There we go. So there's more green circuits. And now for the red circuits. So red circuits need copper, plastic, and electronic circuits. So copper cable again, right? So, but this time, instead of needing 3, we need 4. So that means each one needs its own 2. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to go 1. Something like that. See how we're going to really need tons of copper? Actually, how long does this take to craft? Oh, it takes 6 seconds. So we only really need 1. Hold on. Let's think about this. So we probably only need something like this. How many is this? Because red circuits take a lot longer to craft. So we can do something like this. And then we need green circuits and plastic. So then we'll bring the green circuits and plastic up on one belt, something like this. And then we'll output red circuits this way. So then input, and then we'll output. And let's get this power situation figured out, as always. And there we go. And then again, we need copper up here. Let's try this half and see how that goes. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, you're gonna see real quick how quick we run out of copper. We're definitely gonna have to resolve that next episode, I think. This is the part where you realize real quick, holy cow, this factory needs so much copper. Because the green circuits, we need a lot of green circuits for the red circuits. The red circuits need their own copper, and green circuits already need copper, so it's just so much copper. Okay. So, let's go and route that up. There's that. And then we'll connect that with big power poles. And then here we need plastic and green circuits. So there's the green circuits. And now for the plastic. There we go. Hopefully that means red circuits. And assuming that looks good on this side. Yep, they're making. Perfect. So now let's do the same on the other side. And we're out of blue assembly machines. Let's go get more. More assembly machines! The batteries appear to be trickling in. What's the slowdown? Is it the plastic now? Let's see. Getting plenty of sulfuric acid. Maybe they're just taking a while. Yep, looks like they just take a little bit. So the batteries are trickling, but that's okay. At least it's okay for now. I was just noticing that, wow, that's not a lot of batteries. We might need to increase that later, we'll see. Because our accumulators certainly love them. Look, we're getting lots of accumulators too. Lovely. We have plenty of solar panels too. Switching to solar energy is going to be so easy once we get bots. It's going to be so easy. So easy. Okay. You're going to input. And then you're going to output. And then all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and get power figured out. Now let's get copper. And there we go. More red circuits. Let's throw them onto the bus. I think I'm going to mix them in here with the green circuits for now. If we need to reorient our bus later, we can. But for now, I think that'll do. Now, if you notice, the red circuits do take a while to craft. So I think we'll be okay on resources for the time being, but that's not a lot of red circuits very quickly. We're probably going to need to expand this even more. In fact, let's just do it now. Because yeah, red circuits take forever to craft. So we just need to make a lot of them. Okay. Alright, more red circuits. Hooray! So now that we have red circuits, now we can get that modular armor. I love modular armor. So for that we need steel, which we already have, and we're just going to steal 30 red circuits. There we go. Let's make a modular armor. We're also going to want a whole bunch of portable solar panels. Because right now, eventually we're going to end up with what's called a fusion reactor, which is going to be great. But for now, we're going to have to run off of personal batteries and solar panels. So let's focus on the solar panels first. We're going to want a lot of them. I'm going to want to build like 20 of them. So I'm just going to grab a stack of the solar panels for now. Like that. And then steel plates and advanced circuits. Running low on steel plates, not necessarily the advanced circuits. Okay. So I'm going to steal some more steel plates. There we go. So that's going to be 20 of those. And now I need batteries. So we're just going to steal some more steel. Steal some batteries. I did not want the sulfur. And I'm going to build like 5 batteries. And then I'm going to want belt immunity. That's going to be great. I'm not going to worry about night vision, and I'm not going to worry about energy shields. But that's something that you would probably want if you were playing with biters on. Energy shields are really nice. And because I'm using the Afraid of the Dark mod, I don't have to worry about night vision. But if you are playing pure vanilla, night vision is nice. So, recommend it. Recommend it. So now that we have the modular armor, let's go ahead and equip that. So, boom! Now we have more inventory space too, which is extra nice. And now what we can do is we can right-click on the modular armor, and we have a little grid here of stuff that we can put in there. So this is where I'm going to put like a whole bunch of solar panels. So those take up 1 slot, right? But there are some other things that take up multiple slots. And right now we don't have a lot of things to put into our armor, but down the line there will be, and many of them take many slots. But for now, I'm not too terribly concerned. So I'm just going to stick a whole bunch of solar panels in here. I think I'm building a few too many. There we go. I think 15 should be fine. And then belt immunity equipment doesn't rely on a lot of batteries, so I'm definitely overbuilding here, but it's okay. We can always remove things and chest them, right? Things don't have to go to waste. So I'm just waiting for that stuff to craft. We could maul it, but because you only use it, at least, I mean, you will eventually use stuff like this for Spidertrons down the line, but Spidertrons, you'll use more advanced stuff. So I don't think it's worth putting into the maul. So I'm not going to worry about putting this stuff into the maul. But whenever you do get to Spidertrons, it'll be a good idea to put whatever you want to put into the Spidertrons into the maul. So that way you can automate that process and just grab what you need when you get the Spidertrons rolling. I think I'm going to put 3 batteries in. Again, overkill. But I'm only building 1 thing for now. So I might as well just use the other slots while I have them. And then when I need to remove things to fit other things, I can do that and prioritize certain things to remove over others. But for now, I'll put 3 batteries in, and then I'm going to put the belt immunity equipment, which is also a 1x1. You can see the dimension there, how much grid space it's going to take. So the belt immunity equipment does not take a lot of space. You can see for the batteries, you can see the dimensions are 1x2. So 1 row, 2 column, right? So that's how you figure that out. There are things that are like 4x4. There's even, sorry, there's things that are 2x2. There's other things that are 3x3. Things get pretty big. So the belt immunity equipment's really nice. What that allows you to do is just stand here. The belts don't push you anymore, so it's really nice. It does mean, though, that you can't get the benefit of running on a belt, but it also means that you don't get the detriment of running against belts. So now you just run. And later on down the line, you're going to get exoskeleton. Let's see if I can search it up. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Exoskeleton equipment. So we'll eventually get that, and that allows you to run faster. So you combine the exoskeleton equipment with the belt immunity, and you can just book it with not a care in the world. It's going to be great. All right, we've been recording for a long time, so I'm going to go ahead and put a stop here. But we've been very productive today. We got our basic oil set up, right? So we're pumping the oil. We're routing the oil up. We're refining it into petroleum. We're using that petroleum plus other resources from our bus. We need to get more coal. You can see here we're running a bit low on that. We're pulling resources up from our bus to make plastic. We're using other resources from our bus to make sulfur and sulfuric acid. We're using the sulfuric acid and other items on our bus to make batteries. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And it looks like we're not making sulfur fast enough to keep the sulfuric acid happy. But the sulfuric acid's moving fast enough to keep batteries happy, so no big deal. At least for now. We can always expand sulfuric acid more down the line if we need to in order to make the sulfuric acid happy. Again, just monitor how things are going and expand as needed, and we'll deal with that later. For now, it's not causing any problems, so I'm not going to worry about it. Once things cause problems, then you can worry about it. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day.